1. Prehistoric and Ancient India, up to 600 BCE. Prehistoric India. Paleolithic and Mesolithic periods, c. 2,008,000 BCE. Early human presence in India is evidenced by prehistoric tools and artifacts. The Paleolithic era is marked by the use of rudimentary stone tools, with significant sites like the Bhimbetka rock shelters in Madhya Pradesh showing early human settlement. The Mesolithic era brought about microlithic tools and evidence of the beginning of settled life with semi-permanent settlements and the domestication of animals. Neolithic Age, circa 1700–2000 BCE. This period saw the advent of agriculture, with communities transitioning from hunting-gathering to farming. Sites such as Mehrgarh in Balochistan, present-day Pakistan, showcase early agricultural practices, including the cultivation of barley and wheat, as well as the domestication of livestock like sheep and goats. The Neolithic Revolution laid the groundwork for future civilizations by fostering settled life and technological innovation. Indus Valley Civilization, circa 3300–1300 BCE. Urban centers. The Indus Valley Civilization, one of the earliest urban cultures, flourished along the Indus River. Major cities included Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, known for their advanced urban planning and sophisticated drainage systems. The civilization was characterized by its well-planned cities, standardized weights and measures, and a script that remains undeciphered. Economic and social structure. The Indus economy was based on agriculture, trade, and craft production. Evidence of extensive trade networks with Mesopotamia and regions beyond the Indus Valley suggests a highly organized economic system. Social structures in the Indus Valley are less understood but appear to have been complex, with a significant emphasis on urban management and communal living. Decline. The decline of the Indus Valley civilization is attributed to several factors, including climatic changes, river shifts, and possibly invasions. By around 1900 BCE, the major cities were abandoned, leading to the fragmentation of the civilization into smaller, regional cultures. Vedic period, circa 1500–600 BCE. Aryan migration. Following the decline of the Indus Valley civilization, Indo-Aryans migrated into the Indian subcontinent. This period, known as the Vedic Age, was marked by the composition of the Vedas, ancient sacred texts in Sanskrit that form the foundation of Hinduism. The early Vedic society was primarily pastoral, with a focus on ritual sacrifices and the worship of deities associated with natural forces. Social structure. The Vedic period saw the formation of the Varna system, which later evolved into the complex caste system. This system divided society into four main categories: Brahmins, priests and scholars; Kshatriyas, warriors and rulers; Vaishyas, traders and agriculturists; and Shudras, laborious and service providers. This social stratification became deeply ingrained in Indian society. Later Vedic period. The later Vedic period saw the rise of large kingdoms and republics known as Mahajanapadas. This era also witnessed the composition of the Upanishads, which introduced profound philosophical concepts such as Brahman, universal spirit, and Atman, individual soul, and laid the groundwork for Hindu metaphysical thought. 2. Classical India, 600 BCE, 1206 CE. Mahajanapadas, c. 600–300 BCE. Political landscape. The Mahajanapadas were 16 powerful states that dominated the northern Indian plains. These included Magadha, Kosala, Vatsa, and Avanti, among others. They played a crucial role in shaping early Indian political and religious history. Religious developments. The rise of Buddhism and Jainism occurred during this period. Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, founded Buddhism, emphasizing the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path as a means to attain enlightenment and escape the cycle of rebirth. Jainism, founded by Mahavira, promoted non-violence, ahimsa, and asceticism as paths to spiritual liberation. Mauryan Empire, c. 321–185 BCE. Established by Chandragupta Maurya, the Mauryan Empire became the first major empire in Indian history. Chandragupta, aided by his advisor Chanakya, Kautilya, consolidated his rule over large parts of India. His grandson, Ashoka the Great, is renowned for his conversion to Buddhism and his promotion of non-violence and social welfare. Ashoka's edicts, inscribed on pillars and rocks throughout his empire, reflect his commitment to ethical governance and religious tolerance. Gupta Empire, c. 320 to 550 CE. Golden Age. The Gupta Empire is often referred to as the Golden Age of India due to its contributions to arts, science, and culture. Under rulers like Chandragupta I, Samudragupta, and Chandragupta II, Vikramaditya, the empire expanded its territories and experienced a renaissance in cultural and intellectual achievements. Scientific and mathematical advances. This era saw significant advancements in mathematics, including the development of the concept of zero and the decimal system by scholars such as Aryabhata and Varahamihira. Aryabhata's work in astronomy and mathematics laid the foundation for future scientific inquiry in India. Literature and arts. The Gupta period witnessed the flourishing of Sanskrit literature, with notable works by Kalidasa, who wrote classics such as Shakuntala and Meghaduta. The period also saw the construction of impressive architectural works, including temples and caves, and the development of classical Indian dance and music. Decline. The Gupta Empire began to decline in the late 5th century due to a combination of internal conflicts, invasions by the Huns, and the rise of regional powers. By the late 6th century, the empire had fragmented into smaller states. 3. Medieval India, 1206 to 1526 CE. Delhi Sultanate, 1206 to 1526 CE. Establishment and dynasties. The Delhi Sultanate was established by CapCut dynasty after the decline of the Ghurid Empire. It was followed by several dynasties, including the Khiljis, Tughlaqs, Sayyids, and Lodis. Each dynasty contributed to the consolidation and expansion of Islamic rule in northern India. Administrative and cultural impact. The Delhi Sultanate introduced Persian culture, art, and architecture to India. The establishment of Islamic institutions and the promotion of Persian as the court language had a lasting impact on Indian culture. The Sultanate also promoted the construction of impressive architectural structures, such as the Qutb Minar and the Alari Darwaza. Religious and social developments. The period saw the rise of the Bhakti movement, which emphasized personal devotion to a deity and challenged the ritualistic practices of Orthodox Hinduism. Saints like Kabir, Mirabai, and Tulsidas played significant roles in promoting devotional and mystical traditions. Sufism, a mystical branch of Islam, also flourished, with saints like Nizamuddin Aulaya advocating for spiritual unity and social harmony. Decline. The Delhi Sultanate faced internal strife, including succession disputes and regional rebellions, which weakened its control. The rise of regional powers like the Vijayanagara Empire and the Bahmani Sultanate further eroded the Sultanate's influence. The final blow came with the invasion of Babur, leading to the establishment of the Mughal Empire. Vijayanagara Empire, 1336 to 1646 CE. Foundation and expansion. The Vijayanagara Empire was founded by Harihara I and Bukka Raya I in the Deccan region. The empire expanded under the leadership of rulers like Krishna Deva Raya, who consolidated its power and enhanced its cultural and economic prosperity. Cultural and economic achievements. The Vijayanagara Empire is known for its vibrant cultural life, including the development of classical dance forms and the patronage of literature and art. The capital city, Vijayanagara, modern Hampi, was renowned for its architectural grandeur, with temples, palaces, and markets that showcased the empire's wealth and artistic achievements. Decline. The empire faced continuous conflicts with the Deccan Sultanates, culminating in the Battle of Talikota in 1565. The defeat led to the sacking of Vijayanagara and the gradual decline of the empire. Despite its fall, the Vijayanagara legacy continued to influence South Indian culture and politics. 4. Mughal Empire, 1526 to 1857 CE. Establishment and early expansion. Babur's founding, 1526 to 1530 CE. The Mughal Empire was established by Babur after his victory over Ibrahim Lodi at the Battle of Panipat in 1526. Babur, a descendant of Timur and Genghis Khan, laid the foundation for a powerful empire that would dominate India for centuries. Akbar the Great, 1556 to 1605 CE. Akbar, Babur's grandson, is celebrated for his administrative and military prowess. His policies of religious tolerance, including his marriage alliances with Rajput princesses and the abolition of the jizya tax on non-Muslims, helped integrate diverse communities into the Mughal administration. Akbar also established a centralized bureaucracy and promoted cultural synthesis through his court's patronage of arts and literature. Jahangir and Shah Jahan, 1605 to 1658 CE. Jahangir, Akbar's son, continued his father's policies and is known for his support of the arts and his relationship with Persian culture. Shah Jahan, Jahangir's son, is most famous for commissioning the Taj Mahal, a monument of unparalleled beauty and a symbol of Mughal architectural achievement. His reign also saw the expansion of Mughal territories and the consolidation of power. Later Mughals. Aurangzeb, 1658 to 1707 CE. Aurangzeb, Shah Jahan's son, is known for his expansionist policies and orthodox approach to governance. His reign saw the Mughal Empire reach its greatest territorial extent, but it also faced numerous challenges, including persistent rebellions and religious tensions. Aurangzeb's policies, including the reimposition of the jizya tax and the destruction of some Hindu temples, contributed to growing dissent and the weakening of Mughal authority. Decline. After Aurangzeb's death in 1707, the Mughal Empire began to fragment due to internal strife, succession disputes, and the rise of regional powers. The Marathas, Sikhs, and later the British East India Company gradually eroded Mughal dominance. By the early 18th century, the empire's control was largely confined to northern India, and it officially ended with the British annexation of Delhi in 1857 following the Indian Rebellion. 5. Colonial India, 1757 to 1947 CE. British East India Company rule, 1757 to 1858 CE. Expansion and consolidation. The British East India Company, originally a trading enterprise, gradually expanded its control over India through military conquests and political alliances. The Battle of Plassey in 1757 marked the beginning of British dominance in Bengal, leading to the establishment of company rule across much of India. The company's administration was characterized by economic exploitation and the implementation of policies that favored British interests. Administrative changes. The East India Company introduced various administrative reforms, including the zamindari system, land revenue system, and the rayatwari system. While these reforms aimed to streamline revenue collection and administration, they often led to exploitation and economic hardship for Indian peasants. The company also faced challenges from uprisings and resistance movements across India. Rebellion of 1857. The Indian Rebellion of 1857, also known as the Sepoy Mutiny or the First War of Indian Independence, was a major revolt against British rule. Triggered by grievances related to military, economic, and political issues, the rebellion spread across northern and central India. Although the rebellion was ultimately suppressed with significant violence, it marked a turning point. British rule and led to the end of company rule. British Raj, 1858 to 1947 CE. Direct British rule. After the suppression of the 1857 rebellion, the British Crown took direct control of India, initiating the British Raj. India was governed by a viceroy appointed by the British government, and the administration was characterized by a mix of British legal and administrative systems with limited Indian participation. Economic and social impact. The British Raj brought significant infrastructure development, including the construction of railways, roads, and telegraphs, which facilitated trade and communication. However, it also led to economic exploitation, with resources and wealth being extracted for the benefit of Britain. Famines, such as the Great Bengal Famine of 1943, were exacerbated by British policies and contributed to widespread suffering. Indian national movement. The struggle for independence gained momentum with the formation of political organizations like the Indian National Congress (INC) in 1885. Leaders such as Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Lala Lajpat Rai, Bipin Chandra Pal, and later Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, and Subhas Chandra Bose played pivotal roles in mobilizing public opinion against British rule. The movement was characterized by mass protests, civil disobedience, and calls for Swaraj, self-rule, culminating in the independence of India in 1947. Partition of India, 1947. The demand for a separate Muslim state led to the partition of India into two independent nations, India and Pakistan, on August 15, 1947. The partition caused widespread violence, displacement, and loss of life as millions of people migrated across the newly drawn borders. The partition has had a lasting impact on Indo-Pakistani relations and continues to influence the political landscape of South Asia. 6. Independent and Modern India, 1947, present. Independence and Partition, 1947. Independence. India gained independence from British rule on August 15, 1947. The newly independent nation faced the challenges of integrating princely states, rebuilding the economy, and establishing democratic institutions. Jawaharlal Nehru became the first Prime Minister, and India adopted a democratic constitution on January 26, 1950, becoming a republic. Partition. The partition of India resulted in the creation of Pakistan and led to large-scale violence and the migration of millions of people along religious lines. The impact of partition has had lasting consequences for India-Pakistan relations, and the memory of this tumultuous period continues to influence political and cultural dynamics in the region. Republic of India, 1950, present. Early years and integration. In the early years of independence, India faced numerous challenges, including the integration of princely states, economic development, and social reform. The adoption of a democratic framework with a focus on secularism and social justice aimed to address these challenges and build a unified nation. Economic reforms. 1991. India faced a major economic crisis in 1991, leading to a series of significant economic reforms under Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao and Finance Minister Manmohan Singh. These reforms included liberalization, privatization, and globalization, which led to rapid economic growth and development. India emerged as one of the world's fastest-growing economies, with a burgeoning technology sector and increasing foreign investment. Technological and scientific advances. India has made significant strides in technology and science, including space exploration with missions like the Mars Orbiter mission, Mangalyaan, and advancements in information technology. India's space program, led by the Indian Space Research Organisation, ISRO, has achieved notable milestones, including successful satellite launches and interplanetary missions. Contemporary issues. India continues to face a range of challenges, including economic inequality, religious and ethnic tensions, environmental concerns, and political dynamics. The country is engaged in ongoing efforts to address these issues while preserving its rich cultural heritage and maintaining its role as a major global player. India's democratic framework, diverse society, and economic potential position it as a key player on the international stage.